to the Auto Obsessive Garage and another installment of the Auto Experience series. Today, we're in a 2012 Lexus CT200h. The big takeaway in that name is the H, hybrid. Yeah, we're in a hybrid. This happens to be my daily, and it's my daily for a very good reason. But what is the Lexus CT200? It's easy to say it's basically a luxury Prius. I think a lot of people say that, but there's quite a bit of key differences, I'll be honest with you. Yes, the powertrain's identical to that of the Prius. You have your Toyota standard issue 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine, in this case connected to an electric motor and a battery reserve. So it's an Atkinson cycle hybrid, one of the most common hybrid systems. Pretty straightforward, pretty fuel efficient. Let's talk about why I picked this up as a daily. I do a lot of commuting, cover a lot of distance, and it is not happy commute time. It is stop and go. I'm lucky if I see 20 miles an hour, and hybrids love that. That's their environment, right? Stop and go traffic. This thing's mostly in electric mode, which it just went into. And your fuel economy is going to be really good when you're not using any fuel. So that's the big reason I got the car. The EPA rating is 43 city, 40 highway. I'm averaging just over 47 mpgs. That is pretty awesome. So there's not much else that can get that kind of a fuel economy, especially at this price point. These things are a great value on the market right now. Why would you get this over a Prius? If you're looking for just mpgs, obviously the Prius is the way to go. I think it ekes out a little more fuel economy because it's lighter weight, but the CT200h really offers more luxury, a better looking aesthetic package on the exterior. If you're looking for a car that looks better than a Prius, a little nicer on the interior, better features, yeah, you're gonna wanna look at the CT200h. Also the handling, it has a pretty solid suspension setup. So this thing actually handles better than it accelerates for sure. 100% sure. Now, as far as packages go, I did get the premium package, which was a pretty much must-have for me. Really wanted the navigation backup camera, and you have to get the premium package to get that. Now, the only package I didn't get was the F-Sport package, which I think is hilarious on a car like this. I don't need the ride to be any stiffer or more responsive or anything like that. I do like how the F-Sport looks. Don't get me wrong on that. It does look really sporty, really nice. But for me, this is a comfortable daily cruiser, very silent. I'm not really going fast, not really hitting any high-speed corners. So yeah, this package was good enough. Plus the color combination that I wanted, I didn't see offered with the F-Sport package. So I have that beautiful brown mica, or mocha mica, I don't even know, some kind of sparkly brown. Let's just call it that. It's gorgeous. I love that color. I think it's pretty unique, helps the car stand out. In the interior, I had to get this colored leather. I really love it. I know it's not real leather, it's that futuristic leather that seems to be holding up very well. So that combination, that's just what I wanted, and I went out and found it. So yeah, very happy with the car. I've owned it for a little over a month now, maybe a couple months, and it's been absolutely reliable, which is what Lexus and Toyota products do. Price on the market right now, you can get a pretty decent one of these. Probably lower range is around 10 for a decent one, clean title. And they kind of eke up, obviously, with the newer ones and the package options. They can get a little pricey, but anywhere between 10 and 15 grand can get you a pretty solid CT200h, which I think is really good value. Now, this is a specialty car in my opinion. You cannot get in this car and drive it like a normal car, which is what I want to cover during the driving subjective test later on. You really have to be mindful to get the most out of this car. It's actually very engaging for me to try to get good fuel economy. I love that. I do like these fuel efficient vehicles. And like I said, you're always looking at traffic ahead, coasting, braking appropriately, accelerating only as much as you need to really get the most fuel economy out of it. And that's a really engaging thing for me. You know, I need my cars to be engaging, and you guys know me. I'd rather, you know, be in a very analog, manual, great handling sports car. But when I have to drive something like this, I find it just as engaging. It's really that good. At the end of the day, after we do our objective and subjective tests, I want to really find out if Lexus CT200h is the ultimate commute weapon. And for me, I believe it is, but we'll go over that more, of course. But for some people, if your commute is 15 minutes of windy back roads, no, probably not going to be the car for you. If it's open highways where traffic's moving at 80 miles an hour nonstop, it can do it pretty well, but yeah, it's probably not the car for you. This thing is really, really focused on stop and go traffic, bumper to bumper, gridlock traffic. This is where this thing revels. It loves those conditions, and that's when it's going to return the best fuel economy and really perform for you. We're going to test out the objective test in a second here, and I just want to let you know that there is selectable modes on this. So we will be doing a sport mode run, so hold on to yourself when we get that sport mode going. I don't know if I should try it without racing buckets, but we're going to give it a go, all right, guys? I think it's going to be a fun time, and we'll see if it actually makes a difference. I think it might. All right, on to the objective tests. We've got the CT200h up on the ramps. Time to get that curb weight and front and rear balance. At just over 3,200 pounds, the Lexus CT200h is not that heavy of a car, especially for having hybrid batteries on board. Much of the CT200h's handling prowess is attributable to those hybrid batteries balancing out the car's weight with a 51-49 front-rear balance. Pretty impressive. Being completely honest here, no one is purchasing a Lexus CT200h to bomb through twisty mountain roads. But at the same time, it's not all that bad. Steering is very loose just off center, probably to allow for better highway manners, but loads up nicely when it detects the driver committing to a corner. The CT200h remains very composed through the corners, displaying very flat and steady behaviors. You can feel the extra weight of the batteries in the rear adding to the car's overall balance. The double wishbone rear suspension setup also shores up the cornering capabilities. I never really pushed the CT200h to its limits, due to it being my daily and my retention of a will to live, but at 7/10, this car handles quite well for what it is. The exterior design of the CT200h is also highly attractive. The brown spice mica catches the sun and stands out in a sea of silver vehicles. The CT200h also has an aggressive hint to its design language that I find refreshing in a fuel economy focused hybrid kind of way. The front end benefits from sharp and well proportioned headlights and a pre-facelift grille that doesn't look dated. The rear displays a smaller sized rear spoiler, which houses an LED third brake light. A subtle diffuser is also integrated into the bumper for added visual flair. My criticisms on the CT200h exterior design is that the rear hatch glass isn't flush to the lower hatch, which could have been made more attractive and smoother. And the wheel design that they basically just phoned in. Overall, I find the CT200h to be a very good-looking vehicle, especially in its segment. It's in the interior department where the CT200h really distinguished itself from its cousin, the Prius. Lexus interiors are amongst the best at any price point they compete in,
and this is not an exception. Surfaces flow together in a tastefully cohesive manner, and materials are varied and attractive. For the cheapest Lexus available when it launched, the CT200H aims well above its price class with quality materials and soft touch points aplenty. The CT200H also has one of the nicest steering wheels in the business. It looks sporty, has amazing grip notches, and hosts a minimal amount of button cluster. The seats are another high point in this interior. The caramel new luxe is striking against the cabin's black surfaces. The seats themselves provide plenty of comfort, but lack in the grip bolstered department. I believe this is a fair sacrifice for a daily commute variety of vehicle. Opting for the premium package nets you a pop-up navigation screen that also displays the backup camera, fuel economy, and various other features. This screen is controlled by a Lexus mouse-like interface that is actually quite intuitive when you get used to it. I highly recommend this option for anyone purchasing a CT200H. Gauges are clean, clear, and well marked. The digital fuel economy gauge, changing to a digital tachometer when entering sport mode, is an amazing party piece. One criticism of the interior is the lack of any Bluetooth functionality other than just making calls. Trunk space is also on the smaller side due to the battery's location below. But it's a hatch with no liftover, so storage access is easy. Powering the Lexus CT200H is the exact same mill you will find in a Toyota Prius. It's Toyota's venerable 1.8-liter four-cylinder, partnered up in this case with an electric motor and a bank of batteries. Total output is rated at a non-blistering 134 horsepower and 105 pound-feet of torque. While not exhilarating, this power plant mixes the perfect blend of acceptable thrust and fuel economy. The Lexus CT200H is driven by a CVT transmission operated by an interesting chrome shift handle. Selectable drive modes greatly adjust the driving experience. Eco mode sheds all performance aspects for optimized fuel economy, but normal is recommended for not truly angering those following behind you. Sport mode transforms the CT200H into a normal car, which is ideal for overtaking, for the daring only, or climbing a steeper hill. Overall, the uniqueness of this drivetrain is what makes the CT200H such an engaging vehicle to operate. In concluding this experience, what is it that the CT200H presents to us as an automobile? Most certainly, Lexus has successfully crafted an upmarket Prius. Exterior design and interior quality make this much more than a badge swap operation here. Dig a little deeper and you find a much better handling vehicle as well. A welcome touch to this sector of fuel-sipping point A to B hybrids. But to answer our question at hand, is the CT200H the perfect commute weapon? Well, factors such as what each potential owner's commute looks like weigh heavily on this question. Twisty back road trips to and from work? Not going to be your best option. And also, I'm jealous of you. Long empty highway with speeds above 80 miles an hour? Also, not your optimum choice, and I'm still a little jealous of you. Bumper to bumper, stop and go, completely crawling traffic. Winner, winner. This is where hybrids like the CT200H absolutely thrive. If your commute is horrendous, you prefer an attractive, comfortable space to dwell in, you favor good-looking vehicles, fuel economy with an engaging driving experience are sought after, then the Lexus CT200h is indeed the perfect commute weapon.